Hello, good morning, everyone, and happy National Startup Day. We are back for the fifth and final session of our MAARG Mentorship series for budding entrepreneurs. We have been organizing this series as a part of the Innovation Week leading up to the National Startup Day, which is today. And today we will be covering a topic of mentorship, how you can access mentors from across the country to help you in your startup journey. As a part of the Innovation Week, we have been hosting the series for budding entrepreneurs. We covered topics like how to build on a business plan, how to create a pitch deck, how to look for the right source of funding. And today we will cover our platform, mentorship platform, MAARG in detail. To discuss this, I have with me my colleague from Startup India, Ms. Shambhavi Sharma, who is an expert in women entrepreneurship and in the mentorship enablement of Startup India. So over to you, Shambhavi, and let us explore the MAARG platform.
Thank you so much for the kind introduction, Mukund, and a very happy National Startup Day to one and all. Today is 16 January, as we all know. 8 years back was when Startup India was born. And I'm very happy to share that, as you all would also know, we are the third largest ecosystem in the world, startup ecosystem in the world. And as of this month, we have more than 117,000 startups that are recognized by Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. So very happy to be here, and I'll quickly just present my screen to move on with our topic for today. Hi, is my screen visible?
Yes, yes, the screen and
Okay,
audio both are working.
thank you. Coming to the fifth session of our mentorship series for budding entrepreneurs, today we are going to talk about why is mentorship important? What does the Startup India initiative have in store for all of our budding entrepreneurs as well as existing entrepreneurs? How do you find the right mentor? Once you find the right mentor, how do you work with the right mentor? And all of this will be shared with in the specific context of MAARG platform, which is a national mentorship platform. So before I begin to talk about MAARG, I want to quickly shed light on the Startup India initiative. The Startup India initiatives comes under the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. We were launched in Jan 16 by our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. The idea was to create a nation of job creators rather than job seekers. Our initiative is based on three pillars. One is simplification and handholding, which revolves around supporting startups, making regulations as easy for entrepreneurs as possible. Which also talks about supporting entrepreneurs as startups and other ecosystem enablers wherever there is a requirement. Second is about funding support and incentives. We provide funding supports to startups across various stages. Our colleagues in the previous sessions have talked about how, with respect to the requirement of each of the startups, specific funding is provided, whether it is the credit guarantee scheme, whether it is a fund of funds, or it is the Startup India Seed Fund. Third are industry and academia partnerships and incubation. Here we work collaboratively with all of the universities at central level, at state level across the country, with the incubators that are there, corporates that are interested in promoting entrepreneurship and so on. So largely, these are the three pillars that the Startup India initiative is based on. 16 January was declared also as the National Startup Day. Today is the National Startup Day, so we're also It's a big day for us, and it's a celebration for the entire country. So that's it about the Startup India initiative. Now I want to quickly move on to the
Shambhavi,
important.
just a
Yeah,
second. Can you
yeah,
just move the cursor a little bit? The screen is getting going. Yeah,
better now.
perfect.
So, yes, quickly going to now the crucial importance of mentorships in our life. Since this is a session for budding entrepreneurs specifically, I think when all of us have been in our in our school days, there was always this one teacher that we liked more than the subject. We may not be so interested in that particular subject, but because the teacher taught it so well, all of us would be, all of us got extremely passionate about the subject or got interested in it. So and this teacher is one way to look at a mentor, but at various phases in our life, we have had mentors, whether it has been our parents, whether it has been our teachers, whether it is seniors in school or seniors in college. The role of a mentor is extremely important in any individual's life, not just in entrepreneurship, but in every phase of life and in every area of life. So keeping the importance of mentors in mind, specifically with respect to entrepreneurship, an entrepreneur has various needs, right? So one has to look at the business, one has to look at the product, one has to look at the regulatory requirement, one has to look at the partnerships and so on. And at various areas, one may not be, you may be an expert in, say, area A, but you may not be an expert in area B. This is when an entrepreneur, a mentor comes into play. Historically, also, we've had various examples of mentorship being institutionalized in our cultures across the globe and across the country. Of course, in India, we are well aware of our Guru Shishya Parampara. We've also had elderly village councils that also the advised various members across what matters are of importance, what are not. This is not just seen as in India, but also across the world. So mentorship is rooted in our cultural traditions everywhere. It is essential, especially for startups, because the journey of a startup or specifically an entrepreneur is extremely challenging. It's extremely dynamic. Even though one may prepare for tomorrow, there are a lot of challenges that come about that may not be foreseen. Due to this could be specifically, it may be a challenge may come from an area of expertise, or it may also come from externally. For instance, COVID was something that no one would predicted. So here, guidance becomes extremely important, and right kind of guidance with special expertise in that particular area becomes extremely important. So coming to the role of a mentor specifically in startup journey, and a mentor is like an advisor. He or she is a guide. They provide support basis their relevant experience. It's imperative to identify also the right mentor, and I will talk about this more in the coming slides. But actually, we want to see if the particular mentor is relevant for what we're seeking mentorship in and is available. There is a mutual interest for the betterment of the startup. There is also a trust and open communication that is there between the mentor and the entrepreneur. The benefits of a mentorship or a mentor could be accelerating learning. It could be expanded network. It could be a boost in confidence. It could just be knowing that you're on the right track, or also anticipating what may come ahead. Now, if we go phase wise, where is it that a mentor specifically helps us? So, specifically in the ideation phase, when we have a particular idea with a product in mind, we have identified a particular problem. There are certain assumptions that we carry that because of that we may because of maybe a lack of experience in that area, or just a different perspective. Even if we have experience, just a different perspective that could be brought on board is something that a mentor specifically brings. So your assumptions are challenged. The mentor may help may help a lot with the market research. For instance, you may have a limited professionals in a particular network that you know. A mentor brings in that network as well. And of course, connection with experts. For instance, if you have a product that specifically helps with curbing air pollution, for instance. So, your mentor maybe help you, maybe able to help you to identify the right kind of experts who are also working in the sustainability field. So that is where a mentor helps you in an ideation phase. Specifically in funding phase, a mentor helps you get ready for investors. A mentor may also help you prepare your pitch deck or help support you with your body language when you're pitching to investors. Or if you're a strap startup, mentor may also help you scale your startup. So again, investor readiness, network expansion, valuation guidance is something that a investor can help you with during your funding phase. Thirdly, during your launch and growth phase, you would have a certain strategy in mind, but the expertise of a mentor will help you refine that strategy. Also, the experience of a mentor will help you build your team. As I said before, your mentor may also help you with scaling your startup. Coming to institutionalized mentoring or the national mentorship platform, I'm very happy to share that we complete 1 year with the launch of MAARG. MAARG was envisaged during the meet of the National Startup Advisory Council. It is a body that looks after the affairs of that looks after the affairs of startups on a periodic basis. This is when this one of the meetings of this body, the NSAP or the National Startup Advisory Council, the need for mentorship or an institutional platform for mentorship was recognized. Mr. Manoj Kohli was our mentor to MAARG, and he spearheaded bringing MAARG to wherever it is today. So the National Mentorship Platform was launched after its base was discussed. It was launched last year in 16 January 2023 as well. So today we complete 1 year. The idea with the national mentorship platform is to connect startups with mentors. As we all know, startups face various problems. It may be with respect to a particular functional expertise that they need or a particular industry focus expertise. It may just be, say, market expansion into a particular state. For instance, if I want to expand into the market of Odisha, I want to understand how the market of Odisha is like. I will want my ideal mentor for that would be a mentor who has had experience in working there. So basis your particular requirement as a startup, the idea was to connect you with the mentor who is an expert in that particular area. So our mentors are evaluated by the Startup India team. Their applications are evaluated by the Startup India team here. And we aim to ensure that the mentor who is providing the guidance is also it has the same purpose as you as well. So that was basically the story behind how MAARG came about and what is essentially the purpose of MAARG. I quickly want to play a video now, and I will just check with my team if the video will be working. 1 second.
एक सही दिशा और एक सही सलाह आपको रखता है मुश्किलों से एक कदम आगे। इसी विश्वास के साथ आगे बढ़ते हुए स्टार्टअप इंडिया पेश करता है मार्ग, a one-stop mentorship platform that facilitates mentorship across sectors, stages, and functions. Now, startups can find the best suitable mentor through artificial intelligence on MAARG for getting guidance on scaling their business, solving complex business challenges, and availing topic-specific assistance. If you're looking to take your startup a notch above, register for MAARG for expert guidance by following these steps. Visit MAARG portal, register your DPIIT recognized startup, create a mentorship request basis your needs, select a mentor from the list provided by AI matching your requirement, fix slot as per availability and discuss with your mentors, set personalized goals and update the progress on MAARG. Prepare for success by tapping into the pool of right mentors for your startup. Register now.
I'll quickly share my screen again. So just saw a brief video about MAARG. How does one register there? How does one book their first session? How do we identify mentors basis our requirement there? What we saw in the video, I'd quickly sort of highlight that in detail here as well. So as I talked before, the MAARG portal is a one-stop mentorship platform for all startups across the country. The idea is to facilitate mentorship for startups across diverse sectors, functions, stages, geographies, and backgrounds. One simple example of this could be if I'm a woman entrepreneur and I'm specifically looking for guidance from a woman entrepreneur in the field of ed tech, in the functional area of HR, I can put these particular requirements. I could put functions, I could put I could put sectors, and I could put these particular requirements in the platform itself, and then I will get a list of mentors basis these requirements. I will be shown a particular match percentage of the mentors basis the requirements that I've shared, and then I can select the kind of mentor I want from there. So that is one example of that. The idea is also to foster a growth environment for anyone with a strong idea and a motivation to turn their dreams into an action plan. Startups through this can connect with industry experts, successful founders, seasoned investors to get advice on growth strategy, seek clarity, and get practical advice. This is also, we have a lot of CAs on board with us. We also have a lot of enablers on board with us. Very senior leadership from MNCs. We have incubator heads. We have people who are experts who are running accelerators, and so on. So the kind of mentors that you do get on MAARG is extremely expansive, and if utilized the right way, extremely helpful for any startup. The mentorship platform is also pro bono by nature. Mentorship for any startup is free. There is no charges that are asked at any given point for the mentorship purpose. The platform itself is an AI-driven platform. Again, the matchmaking that I talked about before is enabled through an AI technology. You mentioned the sector, you mentioned the function that you require. You also mentioned the industry that you want the particular mentorship in, and you get connected with the mentor who has expertise in those exact fields. Secondly, the MAARG platform in itself is a one-stop platform for everything with respect to the mentorship. So, for instance, if I have found the mentor here, I don't need to go to an XYZ platform, but I can conduct the mentorship session virtually here itself. Within the platform, I can schedule the session. I can look for a mentor, send a request, send also a message asking for mentorship, or defining what are the clear expectations that I have. If the mentor also is on board with that particular mentorship, they will accept the request. You also can schedule an initial call to discuss what are the common goals, what are the expectation, and what is the duration of the mentorship. Basis your common goals, etc. discuss, you can also periodically you can also periodically conduct the sessions on MAARG itself. You also have a calendar that you can see when and where is where your mentorship is scheduled. MAARG is a virtual platform entirely, but through MAARG, you can also conduct a physical or an offline mentorship session as well. So it has a video call and you can do video calling and communicate via the platform itself. There's a messaging facility. There's also virtual video, virtual connection facility. There are also various benefits for mentors to be on MAARG. Of course, this is a pro bono platform, but we provide various incentives with all of the mentors who are connected with us. This could be access to national level events organized by Startup India, DPIIT, and so on. All of these details are also available on the website. So that website and understand what are the eligibility criteria for mentors for startups. I will also be talking about the same in the presentation today, but it's all of the information that is shared here is available. Next, it also facilitates connects with ecosystems. One of a prime example of this is the cohort feature that we have. For instance, if two mentors who are experts in nanotechnology want to hold a cohort program for startups specifically in nanotechnology can do that. I'll also shed light on how cohort programs are conducted, but largely any ecosystem enabler want to connect through the MAARG platform. We also have something, we have an upcoming community feature there, can connect through the platform itself. No successful platform goes without an active feedback process. So for every mentorship session that is scheduled or larger mentorship that happens through MAARG, startups can receive feedback and give feedback to their mentors. We actively look at the feedback that is received from the startups in order to also constantly check the quality of mentors and startups that are there on the platform. Now, a few statistics regarding the MAARG portal. As I talked about, we have more than 1 lakh startups today. As of January, we have 1,70,000 startups. There are 1,400 and plus qualified industry experts onboarded for mentorship. I'm happy to share that we have a lot of expatriates also from across the globe who are interested in mentoring startups in India. So there are more than 10, our international mentors are from more than 10 countries. Then we have more than 6,990 mentorship hours that have been conducted so far in the platform from our 1 year of launch. Coming to exclusive cohort programs. So cohort programs are essentially a feature in which 2 or more mentors, if they want to dedicatedly organize a mentorship program with startups in a particular, say, sector focus area or in a particular function area, can do that. We have had some successful cohort programs that are organized by various mentors across the country. We also have some exclusive cohort programs for startups that are organized by the Startup India team itself. An example of the same was the Ascend cohort program that we organized a while back. It was specifically for startups from the Northeast region. We also had an exclusive cohort program for women entrepreneurs on the MAARG platform. And coming to the MAARG Innovators Academy, it's also one of our flagship cohort programs at Startup India, where we talk about all of the initiatives that startups can leverage, or all of the programs that startups can leverage under the Startup India initiative. So within this exclusive cohort program, we've also organized thematic programs such as funding series. We've talked about, we've got mentors on board and have had them talk about how to create a pitch deck, what is understanding an investor mindset, what is it that investors look for, and so on. I'm also very happy to share that we will be coming up with the MAARG Innovators Academy 2.0 very soon, and will like our audience to stay tuned for the updates for the same. So these are the 2 cohort programs that I talked about. The Women Entrepreneur Cohort program was specifically for understanding the gap in the entrepreneurship ecosystem with respect to the growth of women entrepreneurs. So this was organized in collaboration with the Women for Startup Workshops, which is a physical workshop program organized for aspiring and existing women entrepreneurs. As I said, the Ascend Mentorship Cohort program was organized specifically for the entrepreneurs from the Northeast. Coming to finding the right mentor and working with them, it is imperative to find that right guide for you or for your startup, as the needs of each and every startup is different. The needs for each and every startup at different stages is also different. So understanding, first of all, identifying that need, and on the basis of that need, finding the right mentor becomes essential. Before MAARG, I think the way that anyone would have operated in finding the right mentor would have been through their network. If you're at an incubator, if you're at an accelerator, finding someone from there, maybe just doing a search on LinkedIn, trying to look at profiles of industry experts and cold mailing them on their email, and asking if they would be available for uh, mentorship. But what the MAARG platform essentially does is it removes this uh, entire extra additional work that startups who are looking for mentorship need to do, and mentors who want to give out guidance to startups need to do. It's a platform where it is understood that the all of the startups that are registered under the MAARG platform are looking for mentorship, and the availability of the mentor is also identified. So the mentors who are onboarded are experts who are interested in providing mentorship. So in that sense, you're not spamming anyone. The goal of the startup and the mentor is the same. It is to provide mentorship, or it is to ensure that the startups are supported in their growth journeys. So the MAARG platform, as I said, essentially removed all of these barriers that entrepreneurs would face when they would look for the right mentor. Now, essentially, how does one find the right mentor? How does one identify the right mentor? So, as I said before, in order to identify the right mentor, you need to identify your needs in the first place. Then you need to check the expertise of that mentor in that particular in the need that you have. Second would be, one may be an expert, one may be the best person for the job in the field, but one may not be available. So one needs to check for availability as well. Third would be, of course, a language. If the communication between you and the mentor is smooth. So this could be, for some it could be language, for some it could be geography, for some it could be particular functions. The MAARG platform helps with all three of these. All of the mentors that are available, that are onboarded on the MAARG platform, have are interested in providing mentorship. So you can decide for their availability when you message them. Their expertise in that particular area is well explained in each of the mentor profiles. Their language, their geographical area, the functional expertise as well is something that can be accessed through their profile itself. To find mentors, there are two ways within the MAARG platform. One is to, of course, state the needs, and the artificial AI algorithm connects you with the right fit. It shows you a match percentage of various mentors that also have the same functional expertise that you're functional and industrial expertise that you're looking for. Another way is to also manually look for mentors on the platform itself. For instance, as I talked about, there are 1,400 mentors on the platform. So we have a mentor list available on the platform where startups can manually, reach out to mentors basis the list. Now, once you're in touch with the mentors, you need to determine what are the common goals that the mentor and the startup aims to achieve through this mentorship. You also need to set the frequency of the mentorship, and one needs to understand that there needs to be a two-way feedback process between the mentor and the startup. You need to clearly state what is it that is going right with the mentorship from the startup perspective, and what is it can be improved. One looks at mentorship as something which is unidirectional. It's one way. but it is always a two-way street, and that's something that the MAARG platform takes care of. There's an active feedback process through the platform itself, through which startups can also actively share their feedback of mentors. So coming
Just,
to
just 1 second, Shambhavi. So we have been receiving a lot of questions in the chat as well. I think most of them will be covered during the presentation, and post which we will be taking up any more questions that are still remaining. So you guys can keep posting your questions. We are taking note of them, and towards the end of the presentation, we will take a Q&A as well.
thank you, Mukund. Should I begin? Okay. So yeah. So mentorship at MAARG. How does one as a startup register? So for any startup to access mentorship on MAARG, they need to be a DPIIT recognized startup. What does DPIIT recognition mean? It means that you are a private, for eligibility to be recognized by the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, you need to either be a private limited company, a limited liability partnership, or a registered partnership. Your date of incorporation should not be more than 10 years. You must not exceed 100 crore in any fiscal year. And your idea or your startup should be scalable, innovative. It should lead to job creation or wealth creation. The recognition process with Startup India is very simple. You go to our website, it is entirely automated. You go to our website, www.startupindia.gov.in, and you will realize there will be a subcategory called recognition. You click onto that, you will get all of the information that is required for your startup to be recognized and what are the benefits that you get after recognition, MAARG being one of the key benefits. So what is the recognition process? You fill that online application form. It's fairly simple. You upload supporting documents. What do I mean by supporting document? An example could be if you're a private limited company, the registration certificate from Ministry of Corporate Affairs is one. Your then application is evaluated by a team member, and then your startup is recognized under DPIIT. There's also a blockchain verification that happens in this process. So a very simple process, entirely automated. You don't need to go to any physical office to get recognized as a startup under DPIIT in the country. So coming to MAARG, once you're registered, once you're a recognized DPIIT startup, you can register at the MAARG portal. You don't have to separately register at the MAARG portal. If you are a DPIIT recognized startup, you will have Startup India credentials. Once you go to the Startup India page, or if you directly go to MAARG page itself, you just need to type MAARG in Google. You have to apply the same credentials here in the login or the username and the same. In case that you have in the Startup India website, in case you've logged in through your social media accounts, you have to log in through the same social media accounts here itself. So once you log in through the portal, you will be asked various questions, various details about the startup so as to match you correctly basis your requirement with the mentor. So I'll quickly pause here for a bit. As Mukund just said, we have a lot of questions coming up, so I'd be happy to take those first and then we can explore ahead. Over to you, Mukund.
Yes. So one question, like a couple of questions that have been asked multiple times already is, what is the eligibility and how to sign up on MAARG? I think we covered this a little bit, but just a brief.
Yes. Thank you, Mukund, and thank you to all for asking the question. So, eligibility to be registered or registered at MAARG is DPIIT recognition. So, as I talked about initially in the presentation itself, for any startup to be recognized under the government in India, the nodal body for that is Startup India, and the nodal department is the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, hence the term DPIIT recognition. So for you to be registered at MAARG, you need to be a DPIIT recognized startup. DPIIT recognition also gives you many other kinds of benefits, such as funding support in the form of seed fund scheme or credit guarantee scheme. It also makes you eligible for the National Startup Awards. It also makes you eligible to access various schemes under the Startup India initiative, be it workshops and so on. So one of the key benefits that one startup can leverage after DPIIT recognition is registration at MAARG. So once you're DPIIT recognized, these are the process for DPIIT recognized. Again, eligibility criteria is private limited company, LLP or registered partnership. You should not be more than 10 years from your date of incorporation. You must not exceed a revenue of 100 crore in any fiscal year, and your startup should be scalable, innovative, and should lead to job creation and wealth creation. All of this is automated, and you can fill the application on startupindia.gov.in. Once you are recognized, you are recognized by DPIIT, you can then come to the MAARG portal and you can use the same credentials that you've used in the Startup India website to log into the MAARG portal. The next thing that you will see in the MAARG portal will be a form that will ask you what are your requirements, basically what phase your startup is at, what stage your startup is at, what are your requirements from a mentor, what exactly are you looking for in the mentorship, the hours that you're looking for in mentorship, and so on.
Another question is on if I start up a traditional business like a cafe or something on those lines, will I still be eligible to obtain startup benefits?
So so one common misconception for a lot of like student entrepreneurs and generally in the ecosystem is that I need to have a new product in order to be a startup. The innovation can be in across your supply chain. The innovation could be across in any process or any stage of your startup. Coming back to the eligibility for us, we look at, apart from the first three criteria, we look at these three things: scalable or innovation or job creation or wealth creation. So this is an all criteria. It's not an and criteria. So it's a fairly broad criteria for you to apply to be recognized as a startup.
Thank you for that answer, Shambhavi. Another follow-up question is, how many mentors can I connect with on MAARG at like a single point in time?
There is I think startups can correct me if I'm wrong, Mukund. I think startups can there is a limited number to which startups can send a mentorship request to particular mentors. I think a startup can send up to 30 mentorship requests to mentors at one given point.
Yes. So just to clarify on that, you can send 30 requests at a day,
At a
but
day.
if you're accepted by them, you can have concurrent mentorships with multiple mentors as well. When you create a requirement, for each requirement, when we create AI-based matching, you're allowed to choose up to 3 mentors to approach.
And in addition to this, you can also send requests to cohort-based programs, which will be organized by multiple mentors.
There's another question. So people say that we face login issues or technical issues when trying to log in. Where can we reach out to get help with these things?
So thank you for that question. So you can go to startupindia.gov.in. Under the contact us page, you can share the exact details with respect to what is the query that you're facing, and if in case you may be facing login issue, you can highlight the same there. Our team will get back to you with respect to your specific issue that you're facing.
Okay. Another question is, how do we join cohort programs?
So once you're registered under the MAARG platform, a lot of the times there's a pop-up that appears with respect to joining the new or a focused cohort program that you can that appears on your screen. So that is one way. Of course, you can log into the pop-up button and see the cohort program that is there. Otherwise, there will also be an option for cohort program where you can click there and you can find a host of cohort programs that are organized by various mentors across the country. So that option, that feature is there within the platform itself. It will be on your dashboard towards your left side.
There's another question. So once our request has been accepted, how do we connect with the mentor?
You can always message the mentor on the platform itself after they've accepted your request, asking their time or scheduling a session with them and discuss their common goals. And what is it that you want out of the mentorship along with that. So you can always message them once they have accepted your request.
Um, this is how to find more mentors. I'm not able to connect with the mentor that I found on matchmaking.
Okay, so in that case, you also have a manual list of all of the 1400 plus mentors that are available on the platform. So you can go and search for mentors manually itself. There will be a list that comes, and basis browsing through the list, you can also manually send acceptance requests in addition to the mentors that are displayed on your screen through the AI matchmaking algorithm.
So another question has just come in. Will this video session or slides be available or any guides be available so that we can refer to it later in case we want to?
Yes. So this video is live on YouTube itself. So anyone can come back to the video anytime they want to. Second is that we also have mentorship and startup guides that are available on the platform itself. For now, if you go to maarg.gov.in, you go down, you will find mentorship guides there, and you'll find two guides there. That is one way to go about it. Third thing is you can always go to our contact us page at Startup India. As I said, you can reach out to us with specific queries that you have.
Someone saying I am a student and I'm not able to register because I don't have recognition. In that case, what can I do to get access to mentorship?
So for students, that is also one area we want to start working actively in. But for now, I think if you have an idea specifically, first thing you can do is go to Startup India page. There are a lot of learning and development resources there. There is also a learning and development program in partnership with Upgrad that talks about basics when you're just starting out. So you have basic business concept. For instance, what would be a break-even point? Or if I just have an idea, what to do with that idea? How do I go about that idea? So for now, you can go through the learning and development programs that are there on the Startup India website itself. You also have resources such as how to create a pitch deck. You also have the contact details of incubators and so on. The incubator, a lot of the lists for resources that are there, in terms of incubator list and so on need to be vetted by you for on your end. But apart the learning and development course and the tools that you have that is provided by Startup India is something that you can actively use to start out first. Once you have a fair idea and if you are sure of registering a company, you get yourself registered as a private company, for instance, then you can apply for recognition and then you can access MAARG. For now, some of our sessions are also open to everyone. Some sessions are open to all budding entrepreneurs, such as this one, specifically for MAARG. You can also constantly look at the Startup India social media handles on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter, and get updates for a lot of webinars and sessions that we organize that you have absolutely free access to. So these are a few couple of steps that you can think of for now.
Thanks for that. So another question has come in that I am connected right now through LinkedIn.
Yeah.
How to find the YouTube channel, and I am a new entrepreneur. So where do I access all these resources that you just mentioned?
Yes. So again, so resource access you can do from www.startupindia.gov.in. Then you have some of so these are live webinars and so on. So any webinar that we do, of course, all of this marketing is done across our social media channels. So you can log into as a LinkedIn is one. We also have a Startup India YouTube page. You can log into that. There will also be a specific sub channel for the live sessions that we do. Since we're celebrating the Innovation Week further in celebration of the National Startup Day, we are constantly there are a lot of webinars that we are doing on a daily basis. Ask Me Anything sessions scheduled in the next few days. So essentially, YouTube is one area, your LinkedIn is one area where you can access all of these live webinar or sessions that we're doing. For a lot of the static resources that we have, you can go to startupindia.gov.in where you will have many learning and development resources that you can explore.
Okay. Another question is from a mentor that I am a registered mentor, but I am not able to connect with many startups on the platform in terms of receiving requests. However, I want to contribute more. So, how can I contribute more and how to uh, present my profile in a way so that more startups reach out to?
So I'm very happy to hear, sir or ma'am, regarding your interest in being a mentor to startups. One of the active ways to also get connected with a like-minded mentor and launch a cohort program in a specific area of your expertise. You can also reach out to us on our contact page and uh, um, share your expertise with us or your specific areas, and our team will see if we can connect you with the right startups.
Thank you, Shambhavi. I think this has covered all the questions that we got pertaining to MAARG. One small question that has again come in is that how to find the Startup India YouTube page. I think if you just search for Startup India channel on YouTube, it will be very easy to find that page.
Thanks, Mukund. I think you've answered that yourself. So, I think in case there are no questions, then would just like to wrap up the session and say that the MAARG platform is an excellent opportunity for especially early stage startups or just startups across stages to find the right mentors. We have a robust set of mentors from across the globe who are interested in contributing to the startup movement of the country. So please feel free to use and leverage the MAARG platform effectively. If there is any questions that one may have, as I said, one can always reach out to us at the startupindia.gov.in under the contact us page. Admin will actively get back to you for the same. So I think with this, I would want to wish everyone a very happy National Startup Day and hand over the session to Mukund. Thank you.
Thank you, Shambhavi, for that presentation and for answering all the questions that we had pertaining to MAARG. Uh, for any other query or any other help that startups might need, the resources that we mentioned, Startup India Hub and our contact page is available online. You can reach out to us if you want to participate in MAARG as a mentor. Again, you can create a profile on Startup India Hub, and if you have the requisite experience, you will be accepted into the platform. I think with this, we'd like to close this series of sessions for budding entrepreneurs. Over time, we are planning to launch a few more focused cohort programs for startups with respect to marketing and marketing mentor matchmaking. Please feel free to keep yourself updated via the Startup India Hub and look out for launch of these cohorts. With this, I think we can close the session. Thank you, everyone that attended, and we hope to see you and MAARG and budding mentor ship ecosystem as well.
Thank you.